Hello everyone. In this video, we'll see how to create user and user permission. When you create a new account, this user and user permission menu will not be visible to you. So if you want to be a owner, if you want to convert your account as an owner account, you need to call the number in the support, right, and tell that we need to update to owner login. Once after you updated to owner login, you will see this after that only you will see this user and user permission menu. So if you have if you have employees and you want to control them, you want them to not to edit the old loan or collection details, or they don't want, you don't want to delete them on the old records, you can control them, right? So to create a user, you just click that user and then plus button. We will go for add user screen. Just click save button, which will show all the mandatory fields, right? Name, I'll just give as Raja, but whatever the name you want, you can give that person name. But username, make sure, right, you give your company name with line name, whatever your company name with line name, so that the name will be generic. Even if this person goes, if some other person comes, they can use the same name, right? Because name you cannot change once after creation, you cannot change it. Okay, so I'll just give name as Vasool Drive Daily 2, like that, and password I'll give as. And then site and primary site is, right, nothing but, right, if you have two sets of daily line, for every weekly line, if you have two sets of weekly line, you can have n number of daily lines. But if you have more than one set of weekly line, you need a separate site for each set of weekly line, because every set of weekly line balance is different. Balance amount in hand is managed differently. So you need to maintain different site. So since we have single site, we it was pre-selected. Now if you take line, we have a daily and then Monday. This user going to see only daily line. I just select daily, and there is something called user permission, right, where we have it has admin and user by default. Admin can do anything. He can delete, edit any information he want, and user has limited access where he cannot edit the old data, and he can view most of the information. But apart from admin user, if you want to control the user in a specific way, you can click the plus button right side of the user permission, which will take you to the add user permission screen, right, where you gave the name for that. You can keep the name as collection staff or whatever the name you want, right? Any name you can give. And what you can do is you go to the collection tab and you select what are the permissions you want to on. Let's say I want to give the user new loan, and he can edit today given loan. And I am not, even if it is a loan created today, I don't want to give delete option. Okay, in the same way, today collection, if he want, he can edit. And what are all the things he can view, right? There is a info icon. If you click that, it will say there is something called view payable. What that's mean, right? You just click that info icon. It says, right, in collection page there is a balance, whether you want to view the balance or not, right? So that is what it says. If you swipe on, it will not, you will not show the payable. If you swipe off, you will be able to see the balance. So that which menu will hide if you select the balance, that is what this info icon. You can go through the icon so that you can understand what and all he can view. For now, he can edit the collection, and I am not giving any other permission. In the expense screen, he can edit today's expense and he can add expense. In customer, he can create a customer, edit the customer. And when he creates a customer, I want him to enter the mobile number, customer photo, ID number, and map. These are all the fields must he always he need to enter. If that is the requirement, you can on. Otherwise, you just give these are all optional. If you want, you can make them to make them as mandatory. Otherwise, you can off. If you take reports, you can give plan and then daily summary, and view past week plan. I think that is not needed. Just give a plan, or maybe daily summary alone should be sufficient for them, and that's it, right? Settings, maybe you can give add area permission, right? Up to that, and the other permissions are not needed, right? Other permissions, if you want, you can enable it, but very limited access. I think this would be fine, right? I just created a star and it will be displayed in the user permission list. You can select that, and then shift user, for example, the same line, daily line 1, there may be 2 people will go to that line, and Raja and other person, right? Kumar, let's say Kumar. while while logging into the collection, right, they need, when they select the line, they need to choose the shift username at the day beginning, right? So that on that day he is responsible for the day's collection. So this is about shift user. And device ID is nothing but, let's say the company purchased the mobile phone and give it to the employee. The employee should log in only on that mobile, right? Only the username, password, whatever he enter should work only on that mobile number. Then you can go with device ID, right? If it want to work with your phone, and you can add this device so that this device ID will be added. Along with that, you can add the user's device ID by when you install the Vasool Drive app. In the top bottom left side, device ID will be displayed, right? That device ID, that user's device ID, you can also enter. You can give comma and then you can add n number of device IDs so that it will be created. Okay, so can allow all day transaction, you off. Let's say someday, right? Someday the person is on leave and he didn't do collection for the previous day. You can temporarily on, but by default let's make it off. So that's it. Just give save. The user will be created. Now you need to give that username and then password to the user so that he can log in. Before giving to him, you log in with the same username and password. You see the permission. You will see that very limited, very restricted permission. So make sure, right, that what he can see, what he cannot see, whether this everything controlled, and then hand over the username password to the user. Thank you.